Reverend Tracy Quillen here, and today I wanted to talk about the spiritual gift of gratitude. Meister Eckhart is credited with saying, if you say thank you, that in itself is a prayer, and that is enough. Is it? When you hear the words thank you, do they come across as overused and maybe sometimes insincere? Because I think it's that feeling that we put behind the words that we use that truly express to others how we really feel. And sometimes I think to look at someone and say thank you, to really say thank you, is truly enough. At this time of year, as we're nearing the end of the year, I think it's a beautiful time for reflection. Today, at sunset, will be the beginning of Yom Kippur for our Jewish friends and family and neighbors. And this for them is the highest of the holy holidays, a time for reflection, a time to look back over the year and see, maybe where did I miss the mark? Is there an opportunity to say, I'm sorry, when you need to? Is there a time to repent, turn away from, do it differently, show up in a different way, maybe a more loving way, a more harmonious way? Because I think when we find and we learn a new way to be, most of us want to capture it and become that new and better expression than we were before. And to give ourselves a break. Sometimes that apology may not be to someone outside of ourselves, but to recognize we're doing the very best we can with all the tools that we have. I know this year has been a little challenging for more than one or two or three of us. Who would have anticipated that many of us would have gone into self-isolation come springtime with the appearance of the COVID virus? I just learned recently that someone I went to ministerial school with has 2 daughters, and they are right now battling this in the ICU. And my heart longs to comfort them and to truly hold the vision that they will be breathing in their own strength, releasing anything unlike wholeness in their bodies. So this year has been very challenging. And in this challenge, have we found an opportunity for growth? Have we found an opportunity to be even more compassionate than maybe we've ever been before? For me, in the recent couple months, I've been working with an agency that is a companion to our elders. And sometimes I'm called into a home where the wife just needs to go grocery shopping. But because of memory issues, she cannot leave a spouse alone. And I have found to be true that several of these marriages go beyond 50 years. And sometimes there's no children. And my heart is open. What is going to become of one of the spouses when this time on earth is over for the other one? I know that for many of us, our church communities serve as that additional family home, and we need that. We're looking forward for that. And many of our church doors are not open. And some of them have found a new creative way of being by allowing us to be outside in their gardens. We're sitting in lawn chairs. Maybe our minister is on a speaker in his Jeep, like ours did not too long ago, because we are craving that intimacy of human connection. Because I believe sometimes that warm embrace, that hug between grandma and grandchild, between friends that haven't seen each other in a while, that too is an expression of gratitude. That is a thank you. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for caring enough to be here in this present moment. So is it true that we can use words? Yes, of course we can. Is it also true that how we display our emotions in a physical sense, maybe it's a hug, maybe it's reaching over and patting someone on the shoulder when you've received bad news, Maybe it's simply the clutch of a child's hand in your hand, and they want you to skip down the road with them. And that child inside you becomes alive again, and you see everything anew. The renewing of your mind, a replenishing of our spirit, because we've given ourselves the opportunity to be childlike again. Are all these an act of gratitude? Sure they are. Compassion, caring, sharing. And for me, if I were to create a sixth love language, it would be cooking. More specifically, I like to grill. I like to grill, and I don't care if it's a steak or chicken or even vegetables. And I love to invite people into my home. And I like to share that we're all around the dinner table and we're noisy and we're picking out what delectable foods that we want to eat. And we're sharing like just companionship, sharing our dreams and the excitement of what's to come. And this year's been a little challenging because we haven't been doing that. Some of us have been caring for elderly neighbors and friends, and sometimes family members. And to remember that spark of joy that is still within us. And we get it today by, some of us, Facebook. Some of us, we're using the telephone more, writing letters, real letters, pen and ink and a stamp, so that we are not caught up in the drama of the obstacles that appear to be before us. But instead, we can look at the other side. We can see the silver lining and say, yes, this has been a year of opportunity to stretch beyond those average and normal borders, the things that we've accepted every day as just our everyday living. For the churches, we have had to become creative, haven't we? I would call some of it a hybrid situation, that we are sometimes online, quite often, many of us. And for those who want to come back into our church homes, we're having to create a safety net, a way that we can safely gather with each other. And sometimes that means we don't all get to sing together. And sometimes that means we don't all get to give hugs to each other. But we know there will be a day when this too shall pass. And we will look back on this time and we will reflect, how did we do it differently? To meet each need, how did we do it differently? And I think at that time it will be a great celebration. It will be a great celebration filled with gratitude that we are once again, our communities, whole and healthy and showing up individually as that divine expression of God. And yet at the same time, we have a new collective way of being. We have a new way of expressing our gratitude just for simply being with each other. So as Meister Eckhart said, if you say thank you, you said enough. And with this, appreciating each one listening today, I hold for you clear breath, an easy way of being, knowing that your joy-filled center is also my joy-filled center, and that I am grateful for each and every one of you. Namaste.